great to be with you guys. Welcome to episode 265 of the Dream Wager. Today is Saturday, April the 29th, 2023. As always, I'm your host, D-Rock, and joining me, our NBA guru, my partner in crime, Elvis Acosta. How the hell you doing, kid?
I'm doing great, Dylan. A little tired, shitty weather up here in the
Yeah.
East Coast in Jersey, tri-state area. It's going to be raining basically all weekend long, Dill. Also stood up late night to watch that. To be honest, I should have fell asleep at halftime because it was a wipeout, Dill. You got my boy Kyrie shirt on right now. I know he's not a net no more, but he was at the game front row, so we still rocking with Kyrie. Shout out to the Lakers closing series out in 6. Ja, I thought you was good in the West.
You're not good.
You can't be saying stuff like that and then you lose in 6. And then you only have 10 points in a closeout game.
Oh my God.
Not a good look, Ja.
No, not a good look at all. We'll get into that. We'll break down the draft as well. We got MLB plays. A loaded show. We got NBA, only one game today, but we got 2 tomorrow. Heat, Knicks, Warriors, Kings, game 7. I got a little NHL play, got XFL playoffs and USFL week 3. So let's start in the in the NBA. You started us off. I think it's poetic justice. I only stayed up for about the third quarter, and they were blowing them out from the beginning. And Dylan Brooks came out and said, "I don't respect no one until they give me 40." They lost by 40 last night. So the script writers, it's Hollywood. They couldn't have made it up better. So I'm happy Lakers took them. I took the Lakers to win the series at plus 115. That cashes. Grizzlies, they never stood a chance. I said this from back in maybe last month, 2 months ago. They're just a good regular season team. They don't have the pieces. Ja's not it. Ja's a good player. That's the only. And you know who actually stepped up and had a nice series? Desmond Bane.
Yeah.
I thought he's really good.
He had a great game 4, 5, and 6. His first 3 games of the series, he was kind of wishy-washy, but he definitely stepped up, especially games 4, 5, and 6. You're right.
The conference semifinals are all kind of squared away. We got the the Suns and Nuggets still play the game 1 tonight. Lakers, they're waiting for the winner between the Kings and the Warriors. And on the other side in the East, 76ers and Celtics, that's going to be a hell of a series. And then the Knicks versus the Heat. No one expected the Heat to eliminate the Bucks. So it should be very interesting. What'd you make of the Celtics and 76ers, series?
Still, I think this is going to be a great matchup. 2 evenly matched teams, good defensive teams, and then you got those star powers. You got Joel Embiid, James Harden, and you got Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Which 2 will lead you to the promised land? And to be honest, though, we saw, Boston, I want to say struggle, but, they couldn't close out Atlanta. They should have closed them out game 5. Like you said, a lot of people said they should have been swept them in 4. You saw Philly take care of my Brooklyn Nets in 4. They didn't play with their food. Boston played with their food a little bit. I understand Trae Young hit an amazing shot. But Boston, you got to close that series out at 5 because you're so much better than Atlanta Hawks. Let's just be real. So, from that perspective, it shows me that Philly is just a little more, ready. Is it Philly's turn? We're speaking about Joel Embiid finally getting his MVP this season. He's most likely going to get it. Is it time for him to reach the finals and reach that next step of being an all-time great player, Dill? And I'll be honest, Dill, early thoughts. I like Philly. I'm gonna be
Me too. I was just gonna say it. So right now, the Boston Celtics minus 310 on the series price.
Wow, that's wild.
That's wild. And maybe the numbers are indicating that Embiid might not be 100%. And that's my next question. He has some days off now. Do you think he's gonna be 100%?
To be honest, though, no. Just because I don't think anybody's really 100% right now. Could he be close to 85, 90%? That's the real question, though. Because we don't need Embiid to be 100, but we still need MVP Joel Embiid. We still need that 30 and 15. So if he could give you anywhere from 28 to 35 points a night, give you anywhere from 12 to 15 rebounds, I still think Philly got a chance.
I do too. And even in the series spread, plus 1.5, is at plus 102. I'm going to sprinkle that, and I'm going to sprinkle a little on 76ers. I like what the 76ers did, no offense, to the Nets as opposed to the Celtics, who they kind of like not stagnant, but the Hawks were in it for a few games. So I like what I saw from the 76ers more than what I saw from the Boston Celtics. So
Yeah, and at any point in the series, did the Nets look like the better team? It was some points in the series where Atlanta looked like the better team.
yeah. And then the other matchup, we got the 8th seed versus the number 5 seed, my New York Knicks. We're minus 158. I think that's a good price on the series spread. Minus 1.5 is at plus 142. No one besides I think me, Stephen A, bias,
Delusional New Yorker fans.
orange and blue skies, baby. Besides like biased New York fans, I didn't really see a lot of like mainstream ESPN guys give the New York Knicks a chance against the Cavs. So we took easy work of them 4-1, took care of business. My one concern about this series, Jimmy, he's going to get his. He's going to get his. He's the best player in the playoffs right now. Besides that, I do worry about Julius Randle and his injury, his ankle. How good is it going to be? He's going to be a game time decision. I don't expect him to play game 1. I just hope for the long term, game 2 or 3, he's up to about 60, 70%. But that's my one issue. How do you see this series going?
Dill, I was checking on him last night. As of right now, Julius Randle's in your starting lineup. He's going to play. He's playing game 1. He's going to start. I thought it was a little worse than what it appears to be, Dill. It seems like he's going to be fine. He might not be 100%, Dill. Yeah. But I don't think you need Julius Randle at 100%. I think you need more the supporting cast, like a RJ Barrett, like the Mitchell, like the OB, to give you more than what they gave you in the regular season. Because, Julius Randle, I've already looked at his clean prop. It's like at 19.5. So they're already scheduling him to give you around 20 points a game, Dill. It's just, would RJ look like game 5 RJ or game 1 RJ? That's the question, Dill.
And hopefully we could get game 3 and 4 RJ, because first 2 games he was non-existent, but the last 3 games he was a very good RJ Barrett, and that's what we need, especially if Julius Randle's not going to be 100%. We need Quickly to show up. We need Obi to show up. Mitchell, he's been playing dominant in the paint, so should be a very interesting, fun, physical, low-scoring series between the Knicks and the Heat. I'm going to take the series price at minus 158, laying a little juice, but I think we are overall the better team. Heat will probably win 1 or 2, but
probably.
I just think, just based on how good Jimmy Butler's been playing, I think
it wouldn't shock me. I lose game 1, because it wouldn't shock me if Jimmy Butler goes in there and gives you 43 points.
It would shock me if we lost. It wouldn't shock me, if we lost game 2. I expect us to come out strong game 1.
I expect Jimmy to have a huge game 1, though.
I expect him to have a huge series. That man, I don't think we don't have really enough big bodies to put on him. That's
just have enough bodies to keep throwing him in rotation. Couple possessions, you got Obi. Couple possessions, you got Quickly. Couple possessions, you got Julius Randle. You got to throw a bigger body at him. You got RJ as well, Dill.
Quentin Grimes.
Yeah, Brendan Grimes. So I think it's gonna take the whole team, not just one person to be like, oh, Jrue Holiday, get him. Because you saw what Jimmy was doing to Jrue Holiday. And Jrue Holiday is arguably the best perimeter, one of the best ball defenders in the league.
Yeah, he's arguably the best, I think. Yeah. So Joey in the chat saying, which matchup do you think is the most fun? And it's between this Nugget and Suns matchup and 76ers and Celtics for me. You got 3 and 2, the battle of the East, top teams expected to go to the finals for the East. And then on the Suns, you got the Joker. Then you got KD and Devin Booker, Chris Paul. I just expect those 2 to be the most fun matchups, maybe go 6 or 7. So that's my opinion. Who do you think is going to be the most fun matchup?
It all depends, depending on game 7, though. But to be honest, I think it's going to be Lakers and Golden State. If Golden State could get that road victory, though. Steph Curry. We finally get to see Steph and LeBron on an even playing field. Last time we saw Steph and LeBron, he had, Kevin Durant. So I would love to see that matchup, even player field, 2 greats of this generation, LeBron versus Steph. That would be amazing in my opinion. And I agree with you with the Celtics and 76ers. Even if the Kings win game 7, I still think that will be a great series as
Yeah.
well, but it won't be more exciting than Steph versus LeBron. You
Oh no,
know,
that'd be amazing. Yeah, I
that'll
love
be
that.
amazing.
Should be good. We'll have more plays for this weekend in just a little, but let's transition to the gridiron. First of all, my only issue with the draft, it's a bunch of weirdos that go there and like celebrate the draft.
And it
Is it
ain't weird,
not?
though. Those are true fans. They'll have some
They're
respect.
weird.
Have some respect for the loyal fans of the NFL that can make something like this happen. Because if it wasn't for those people, those weirdos you're talking about, they wouldn't be an NFL draft. They would just be, oh, this guy got selected by this team, like the MLB draft. There's no MLB draft.
No,
You
no.
just hear it. You just see it on the bottom of the Sports Center screen. Breaking news: this guy went to this team. That's it.
Yeah.
So, Dill, you gotta be thankful for the weird fans because every year for about 2-3 hours, you get to link up with the boys, have a few drinks, and then be excited about some guy that just fell on your lap.
That's the best. It's like, oh, where are you going? Oh, I'm just going to hang with the boys and watch my favorite team draft some 19-year-old. Like, no other sport.
That's a future Hall of Famer.
It's insane to me. It's the only sport and gathering I know where we go and celebrate 19-year-olds getting generational wealth. And I'm all for it. My only other concern is, can we start a little earlier, boys? That's a 4-hour first round.
And it was in Kansas City, so it's East Coast. Yeah, could have started. Well,
it's mid. I think they're an hour behind.
Mid, so it might be mountain time. So it probably started at 7. Come on now, you got to get that thing down 6 now. I understand it will start at 3 on the West Coast, which ain't really fair. But you can always move to the East Coast for the draft.
Exactly.
You know, so NFL, we got to stop. Even the NBA, 10 last night the Laker game got pushed back from 10:30 to 10:50.
I saw that.
Just because the Kings and Warriors game was, was a thriller, to be honest.
It was.
But you can't just push the game back 20 minutes.
No, it's ridiculous, bro. That was my one concern.
Even on a Friday night, your boy tired.
It was pushing almost midnight, and I stayed up and I got work on Friday. I was sitting there like, yo, let's speed the process up a little, boys. Like
you don't need 10 minutes between each draft pick.
So
especially in the first round, I feel like everybody has like 2 or 3 players that they're eyeing on, especially in the first round. In the first round, you don't have 10 people on your board. It's possible.
The first round, I think, was somewhat predictable. Some didn't. Obviously, we'll start with number 1, Bryce Young. We all thought and we all knew he was going number 1 to the Carolina Panthers. And then number 2, we didn't know, like, hey, maybe they go defense, Houston. Maybe they do this. They get their guy, CJ Stroud.
Well, they did go defense.
And then they traded and made the ultimate. I think, like you said, we were watching it together. Their team instantly just got 3 to 4 games better. And then they trade back to get they trade up, excuse me, because they had the 12th. They traded up to the number 3 and got the best defensive player on the draft. They got CJ Stroud. And then at 3, they get Will Anderson from Alabama. So, holy shit. Right off of that, I give the Houston Texans an A+. What about you?
I love the pick still. I love the movement they made because as a fan, if I'm a Houston Texans fan, it shows me it's a win now type of move. So I appreciate that from the front office and D'Amico Ryan. The only reason I won't give it an A or A+, just because I feel like they gave up a lot. They gave up a third round and a 2024 first round pick. So they won't have a 2024 first round pick unless they're getting something from Deshaun or picks from somebody else. But they won't have a 2024 first round pick. So unless they see themselves winning 9-10 games and not having a lottery pick and a top 10 pick, okay, that makes sense to me. I'll give it an A+. 7 months, 8 months from now. But if you're telling me they're gonna have a top 5 pick again, I don't think it was the great move. But I love the decision they made. They got 2 talented players this year. I think Will Anderson will be the best defensive player in the draft. So I love the move, Dill. I just don't like the compensation they gave up to move up that much. I don't think you should have gave up your next year first round pick just to move up to 3 while you're sitting at
maybe they're banking on having a good season, so it won't be a high first round.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If they win 8-9 games and then picking, after 12, 13, 14, 15 around there, it's an A+. But if you go 4-13 and you were a top 5 pick, top 4 pick, to me that was a bad move.
Yeah, I get that. And in the second round, they go out, they get a center from Penn State. I think the guy's name is Juice Shrugs. What a name, Juice Shrugs. And then in the third round, they go and get another wide receiver from Houston, staying in state, Tank Dell. So they're addressing some concerns. They have 2 fourth rounders, 3 sixth rounders, and a 7th rounder. So they got some work to do. I think they still need help on the defensive line. They need some linebackers to go along with Will Anderson, but they're shoring up this team little by little. And honestly, I liked what they did, just going back to back and getting arguably 2 of the best players on the board. I cashed CJ Stroud, second quarterback to be drafted, and Will Anderson. They were given that first defensive player to get drafted, Will Anderson, at plus money. That's like stealing candy from a shop. And then I think it all changed in this fourth pick with the Indianapolis Colts. Everyone thought Will Levis was going, and you know what? Boom, they go Anthony Richardson from Florida. And at first I go, wow, it's telling that the Indianapolis Colts chose to go with a more raw guy. Raw meaning only 13 to 14 starts in college, only completed 58% of his passes in college. He has more work that needs to be done as opposed to Will Levis, who's played 3-4 years in college, who's completed more. But the stories that I heard after from GMs coming out, articles that were written, Will Levis was about Will Levis. All the GM meetings, he was talking about his big arm, how he was picking off defenses, not about the team, not about what schemes you're running. It was all about Will Levis. And Anthony Richardson, from other reports, he was just so honored and grateful to be in this opportunity and saying he's willing to do and work out anything that he needs to do to make the team successful. And apparently that was a red flag for GMs for Will Levis. And you look at other guys. I'm a big Johnny guy, but Johnny Manziel was another guy, all about Johnny. Baker, all about Baker. And if you look at it, they're not really successful in the NFL. And I think that's telling how Indianapolis Colts went with a guy that's a little more raw than a guy that's a little more developed. So I'm happy for Anthony Richardson. I think he will be good. Their offensive coordinator worked out with Jalen Hurts, and that's the same type of style that they run. So it is interesting. He's not going to be Jalen Hurts in year one, but eventually down the road, I think Anthony Richardson, can become a good quarterback in the league, and I'm happy for the guy. So what do you think about the pick at number 4?
Still, I'm with you. It shocked me a little bit. I thought Will Levis was going number 4 to the Indianapolis Colts. Put it like this, though. The sky's the limit with Anthony Richardson. I can honestly say this. He has the highest ceiling. Doesn't mean he's the best player. He just has the highest potential. We saw the combine. He just broke records all throughout. High jump, distance jump, 40 time, arm strength. He just checked every box that you have at the combine of question of your quarterback. He checked every single one. Sometimes that doesn't lead to wins, Dill, but if you just get him in the right system and get something that really works for him and surround him with talent, he could possibly be a top 5 talent. Top 5 quarterback deal, because he got the legs, he got the arm strength. The question is, can them and the Colts put it together, Dill? Yeah. So I like the pick. I'm not gonna say I love it, just because, like you said, it's like, don't expect Anthony Richardson to win any Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, no.
Break any records as a rookie, because he's not. But 2-3 years from now, maybe he's like a project like Jalen Hurts. We saw him take off after his second, third year. Third season went to the Super Bowl. Daniel Jones, after the third season, he went to the playoffs still. We saw Josh Allen after a couple seasons. Now, look, he's a top 5 quarterback, So we just got to see how they develop him moving forward, because he checks all the boxes. It's just now, could he put it together on the field?
Yeah, I really hope so. I hope they surround this kid with some talent, because I think you're right. The ceiling is much higher for him than Will Levis, who I think is already kind of at his ceiling. So what would you think about like the news where it's all about him? Does it kind of surprise you?
It's not shocking, Dill, because when a dude openly just start showing like stuff about him on for the internet, like you eating a banana without the peel, putting mayonnaise in your coffee, like nobody needs to see that. Nobody needs to know that. Just
Yeah.
show off your big arm, show your tape, and that's it. Nobody needs to go too deep about your personal habits. So
Yeah.
does it shock me? No, because he seems a little, ignorant. That where like, yeah, it's about me. I'm the dude.
Yeah.
Kentucky wouldn't be as good without me. But we saw a lot of films from players getting drafted, and a lot of their highlights was on Will Levis, pick six here,
Yeah.
sack here. So, hey.
It's interesting, but yeah, no, very, very happy for Anthony Richardson going number 4 to the Colts. And Pat McAfee and all the Colt legends, they're happy. They're pumped for Anthony Richardson. So we'll see what the future holds for him. At 5, we all thought Jalen Carter was going to go to Seattle. They fell to him. They wind up getting the best corner. I thought, I said it, Devin Witherspoon from Illinois. He just comes up. He reminds me of an old school kind of like Ryan Clark. I know Ryan Clark played safety, but the guy will just, you come over the middle and he's going to lay the wood. I fucking love that type of player. Very old school kind of guy, but I think it fits Pete Carroll's system. You also have the second best rookie defensive player in Tyreek Woodson that they drafted last year. So now you're set on corners with Devin Witherspoon and Tyreek. So what do you think of Seattle getting the corner instead of Jalen Carter?
Yeah, I think I want to say it's a perfect fit, but now moving forward, you have arguably a top 15, top 20 corners in the league right now.
Yeah.
I think Devin Witherspoon is already a top 20 corner. He's like that. He's going to be moving up on that list very shortly in the upcoming months. And then Willie, we saw him what he was able to do, Dill. He almost took the defensive rookie of the year from your boy Sauce.
Yeah.
He's right there, Dill. So
yeah, he is.
So give credit to Seattle. They got one of the best secondaries in the league. Moving for the next 5, possibly
Easy.
8 years. If they sign both of them, retain them. I had Jalen Carter going to 5 in Seattle. I thought that was the perfect fit. But you can't question when somebody wants to rebuild the Legion of Boom.
I was just gonna say that they're trying to rebuild the LOB, and I mean, with under Pete Carroll, anything is possible. And they did get Bobby Wagner back, so a veteran presence in that locker room, I think it's going to work wonders for the young rookies in that locker room. So love the pick. I think Devin Witherspoon's going to be amazing, and a lot of us, even when we were doing our divisional previews last year, we were like, they traded Russ, they're rebuilding. They rebuilt this shit quick. So love the pick by Seattle.
They're two picks, one from Denver and their own original pick. You got arguably the best wide receiver in the draft class in Jackson Smith, and then you got the best cornerback in the draft. So shout out Denver. I understand they got Russ, but you just got Jackson Smith and Devin Witherspoon.
Then we had a trade at 6 from Detroit, moved back to 12 to Arizona. Arizona moved back up. They get fucking the guy I wanted from Ohio State, Paris Johnson Jr. I think he was the best offensive tackle on my board. They're gonna go and protect Kyler Murray on the left side for the next fucking 10 years. So fucking I'm mad about that. Then the guy the Raiders who got all the steam leading up to the draft, Tyree Wilson from the edge rusher from Texas Tech. Vegas goes and snatches him up at 7. And then I fucking owed Elvis $5 more. Fucking, I didn't expect this. What is Arthur Smith doing? I mean, I don't know. I question it. I don't question his ability because I do think he's the best running back in the draft. Bijan Robinson got drafted at 8 to the Atlanta Falcons. But didn't they just get the running back last year in the 5th round, Algier? And he was a stud. I think they're just going to get positional players. They got Drake London last year. They got Kyle Pitts, tight end. They're just giving
They got my boy Cordell Patterson. He's a dual threat.
He does everything.
He's running back, kick return, wide receiver. Don't matter. So
they're giving Taylor Heineke weapons.
I forgot Taylor Heineke. I thought
yes,
better though.
Either or, they got weapons. So what do you think of Bijan Robinson? You said it. You said top 10, and I just said how in this day and age, running back.
Yeah, I had him going number 10 to Philly. We all know what Philly ended up doing. I want to say I'm shocked because I did have him going top 10, but I'm just shocked that, the Atlanta, like you said, they got that rookie last year. They got Cordell Patterson. Hey, maybe they're trying to have a positionless offense. He could line them out on the outside. He could play running back. And let's just be real, though. The talent level is there. It's not like he doesn't have top 10 talent. He
Yeah, he
does.
does.
He's the best running back in this draft, and moving forward, he has a chance to be a top 5 running back in the league, though.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Tape does not lie. The guy's so explosive. I like BJ Robinson. I'm a fan. It might not sound like I'm a fan. I just don't value drafting running backs in the top 10. They don't have a long history, and you're paying a guy a lot of money. So should be good. They should be a fun team, I feel like, this year, the Atlanta Falcons. But then at 9, we mentioned Jalen Carter fell all the way to the Eagles. They had to pick Jalen Carter.
That's just
They're
that might
just
be
getting Georgia players, I feel like, don't you
yeah.
think?
They got Jordan Davis from last year, the D tackle. Remember,
N'Kobe Dean.
N'Kobe Dean, and then they drafted Jalen Carter,
Mhm.
and then Nolan Smith. They
They're just defenses, all Georgia Bulldogs.
they got 5 Georgia Bulldogs.
I mean, I can't believe Nolan Smith fell to 30 to the
Yeah.
Eagles. But yeah, Jalen Carter fell to the Eagles. Excuse me. Great pick by them going on in the interior line. And then Bears.
Did you see
Offensive.
that?
Yeah.
Did you see that? I guess like the interview questions
Mm-mm.
after the fact where they asked Ronnie Horseman, the owner, I think, the GM, I think it's Ronnie Horseman, and then the head coach Sirianni. Oh, do you think basically they were asking about the accident that happened a few months ago and whatnot, and then Sirianni and the GM defended him. It was like, that's a shitty question for you to ask on the biggest night of his life.
Yeah, no,
And they
these reporters are the worst.
Yeah, so I want to give credit to Sirianni and the GM for defending their draft pick, selected him at number 9, having the utmost confidence in him, because I do think moving forward, take all the off-field aside, on the field, he might have just been the best player drafted in that draft.
Yeah,
and the Phillies got him at number 9.
Which was
Remember,
a steal.
before that accident, he was projected to go. He was projected to be the first defensive player drafted.
Yeah. Over Will Anderson, who was a 2-time defensive player of the year in college. So, yeah, you're right. It was all the off stuff. And what a fucking shit. Not just a shitty question, Elvis, a shitty person. On the family's biggest night of his life, you're going to ask him about that. I just don't see the relevance in that right now. So I agree. I thought it was good for Nick Sirianni to stand up for his draft pick and player now. So Chicago, very interesting. They didn't go with my boy Peter Sherwinski from Northwestern. He went to Northwestern. He's from the Chicago area. But they go and they get the offensive tackle out of Tennessee, Darnell Wright, who a lot of people I saw in their mock drafts was their number 1 offensive tackle. So they had to protect Justin Fields. So I thought it was overall a good pick. They just needed to go offensive tackle. Tennessee, they go Peter Sherwinski from Northwestern. And yeah, Joey said in the chat, people are hating the Lions pick. And they traded out from, what was it, 6? Yeah, they traded from 6 back to 12.
Yeah.
And they came out and said, I appreciate all the mock drafts, and that's their job. But we were taking Jahmyr Gibbs, the running back from Alabama, at number 6 regardless. He was our number 1 player. So what do you think about taking 2 running backs before even 1 wide receiver?
I think this is the first and last time we witnessed this, because we already know Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to be a top 5 pick next year. Easy. So there's no question about that. Yeah, I think it's a first. I think I like it. It's a change. Maybe these 2 players could change life. Hey, if this dude runs for 1,500 plus yards, who's going to be laughing? The Lions, So, we laughing now, but if the kid gives you, 3,000 yards in his first 2 seasons, you're the one that's going to be laughing. So I think he's a dynamic playmaker. They said they're going to line him up outside, line him up in the slot, and line him up in the backfield. Remember, they got Swift, Montgomery, and now you got the rookie. So I think they're going to play him in multiple positions. I don't think he's just going to be lined up as a running back. So I think the Lions, I'm not going to say they hit a home run deal, but when you get the guy you wanted, is always a great feeling.
And they were dapping each other up in the war room. They were high five, and I was like, oh, they must have got their guy then. So a lot of people are comparing him to Alvin Kamara, speedy guy. You could line him up in the slot. He could catch passes out of the backfield as well. The one problem they say he's injury prone a little bit. He might not play all 17, 18 weeks. He'll play 10 weeks, but he's going to be productive.
Still, this is why it's such a great draft pick, because you already got Devontae Swift and David Montgomery, who's already a bell cow back.
And that's the type of offense Dan Campbell runs. Hard, gritty, run the ball with Jared Goff. I'm turning around on Jared Goff. I'm turning around. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of him. Just going down the list because we could spend hours just talking about the draft. 15, the Jets get Will McDonald.
Hold on, real quick.
Yeah.
Though. We gotta talk about how the Patriots stunned you guys real quick.
I was trying to avoid that, to be honest.
Nah, Dylan, we gotta talk about it real quick. People, like Dylan said earlier, we was watching the draft together, and me and Dylan, we're best friends. You know, we're like brothers. I was busting his balls because he wanted the offensive tackle, and Pittsburgh snuck up, traded up to the 14th pick, and took him right under. The Jets was on the clock for about 9 minutes.
We were
panicking.
They
didn't know what to do, Dill, because the Bill Belichick and the Patriots got him again. So they ended up drafting, what's his dude named McDonald?
No, yeah, we drafted him, but the Pittsburgh Steelers, Broderick Jones, the offensive tackle from Georgia.
Come on, back-to-back champ. Yeah. That's championship DNA, Dill. That's what you need moving forward. And y'all wasn't able to get it.
Because of you guys.
No, is that because of us?
Yeah.
You made a bad deal to get Aaron Rodgers. You had the 13th
Oh, my
pick.
God. Now
you had the 13th pick. Y'all ain't have to move back. They finessed y'all.
It was surprising. At 13, you mentioned the Packers. We wanted them to draft a wide receiver just to like stick it to Aaron, but they did go and get honestly a really good linebacker. Now that I'm like looking at the guy, Lucas Van Ness, I think his name is, from Iowa. By the way, he's a stud. He had all women at his on his couch. All women. And I love it. That's the way you got to do it, man. Even if they're your sister's, pretty fine women, that's what you need. You can't. And then the moment his brother came in, they said, "Yo, out of the women only." I respect it. I think he might be the best linebacker now. But yeah, Patriots traded out of the 14th pick. Steelers in the AFC get the fucking Kenny Pickett some help for the next 10, 15 years. He's gonna block for Kenny Pickett. So tough one because I think the Jets needed to go offensive tackle, but the 3-4 best offensive tackles are already off the board. So then we went and we needed some help on the D line, edge rush. So we go out and get Will McDonald from Iowa State. And we have a couple guys from Iowa State now. Alan Lazard went to Iowa State. Breece Hall last year, he went to Iowa State. So we got some Cyclones. I liked it. I like the pick, honestly. I think we need help linebacker-wise. So I like the pick for the Jets. You guys moved down to 17, 2 picks after us.
Still of the draft.
I can't believe. And to be honest, a lot of people, I thought Christian Gonzalez, that's who you guys drafted. I thought he was the best corner in the draft, but a pick right before you, Washington Commanders, they get a corner. And I thought they were going to take Christian Gonzalez, but they wind up getting Forbes, Emmanuel Forbes, the guy from Mississippi State. So he just fell right in your lap. What do you think of Christian Gonzalez?
So this is what you call value. It might have been the steal of the draft. I understand Nolan Swift went 30. He was rejected the top 20 pick. I understand Jalen Carter was the number 1 rated defensive player. He went number 9 to Philly. I understand that deal. But like I said a couple weeks ago on the podcast, I think Christian Gonzalez was the best cornerback in the draft. A lot of people had him as well. You know, he went to Oregon. He'd been battle tested, Dill. And the fact that we was able to snatch him at 17, it tells a lot, Dill. It's the fact that we got possibly a perennial Pro Bowler for the next 5-10 seasons at 17.
Yeah, it should be fun. And then later in the draft around 20, that's when the receivers went. They went 4 in a row. Seattle, they got my boy Jackson Smith and Jigba. You put Tyler Lockett is getting old, but you put him in the slot with Tyler Lockett and DK. They're just giving Geno some weapons. I love the pick by Seattle. Then the Chargers, they get Quentin Johnson, big, tall, deep threat guy from TCU. I love that pick because, to be honest, I like Mike Williams. but Keenan Allen does get hurt a lot. He is getting older. They need another help for Justin Herbert. So I like that. And then Baltimore Ravens, they get the guy from Boston College, Zay Flowers. So they go and they re-sign Lamar. I think we're burying the lead on that. He gets paid. He gives them another weapon finally. So hopefully he's good. They got him, Odell. Hopefully Bateman is healthy now. They have great running backs. They got Mark Andrews. So hopefully now their offense is turning around. What do you think of the pick at 22 for the Ravens?
I think it shows them. It shows Lamar like, hey, we're all in. You know, they gave him the contract to start the day, 5 years, 260. Congrats, Lamar Jackson and your family. Shout out Mama Lamar. She did a great job, even though all the outside noise said they weren't. I think it was a great pick, though. You know, the Ravens, they got Zay Flowers, who people say he's arguably the best wide receiver in the draft class. Him or Jackson Smith, or the dude from USC, Addison. You got Odell, and you also drafted Bateman last year in the first round as well, Dill. Even though he might have not been a home run, but the potential is there. Bateman, Odell, and Zay Flowers. This is no question.
And AB. No, that was funny that he put it out there, though.
Come on. This is no doubt about Lamar Jackson's best wide receiving core since he's been in the NFL. And this man already has one MVP under his belt. I'm not saying he's going to go out there win MVP, but he will have an MVP-like season.
Yeah, and then you mentioned it, Jordan Addison. He was the fourth receiver, which a lot of people had him the number one receiver on their board, but they did lose Adam Thielen, and he went to the Panthers. So give Bryce Young a nice veteran weapon, and they replaced him with the young Jordan Addison from USC. Rob texts me. He goes, they just let the champion go to Minnesota. I was dying because he's a USC guy. But other than that, first round was pretty good. I do have a trivia question for you and for the people in the chat, Joe, if you're listening. Bryce Young, he was the first Alabama player to go number one overall. I think that's crazy in itself. You would have thought with all that talent that's come out of that school, at least one player would go number one overall. So Bryce Young, first Alabama player to go number all. There's four teams. What team has the most number one overall draft picks? And then 2, 3, and 4 are all tied for the second best. So who is the number one overall school that has come out with the most number one overall picks?
I'm going to go with Oklahoma.
Oklahoma is the number one. Yes.
Let's go, Oklahoma.
And then 2, 3, and 4 are tied. Who are the three other schools?
I'm going to say USC is one of them. No.
UNC?
USC.
USC is one, yes.
USC. I'm trying to think all-time great. Florida?
No.
Damn.
Yeah, Joey got in the chat, said USC.
USC.
I think USC back in the day was legendary.
Legendary. I'm not Clemson because it's too soon. Texas?
No. I mean, we were talking about them today.
Damn. Michigan? Texas A&M?
No, now you're just guessing.
Yeah.
All right. The other two is Georgia and Notre Dame. Back in the day, Notre Dame was legendary.
I was going to say Notre Dame or Penn State. I was like, nah.
Yeah. So Oklahoma has the most number one overall players that were drafted, and then 2, 3, and 4, Georgia, Notre Dame, and USC are all tied for number 2. So very interesting, I thought. A little trivia just to end it out. But rounds 2 and 3 ended yesterday. Jets got a center. They got another wide receiver. So we're moving along. Rounds 4, 5, 6, and 7, and the rest of the draft will conclude this weekend. But overall, Patriots, what do you give yourself grade wise so far?
I'm gonna give us an 8, though, just because we started with Christian Gonzalez. I think that was a steal. We ended up drafting a linebacker. I forgot his name. But with the 40-something pick, I think it was a great pick up right there.
Yeah, it was Keon White from Georgia Tech you got in the second round, and then in the third round, Marte Mapi, the linebacker from Sacramento State.
Yeah, so we ended up getting some good linebacker core there,
You
and
got a
then we got
lot of
Christian Gonzalez.
picks.
So everything's on the defensive side. Hopefully, we could hit a home run on a wide receiver because we've been seeing so much talent coming out the wide receiver position, especially in the last few years in these later rounds, third, fourth, and fifth. So if we able to, hit a home run somewhere in the fourth or fifth round on a wide receiver or even possibly a tight end, because we already addressed the defensive side of the football. Our
Yeah.
first 3 picks of the draft were on the defensive side. So if we could get a decent tight end or a pretty good wide receiver right now, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, and according to ESPN, they said the most help you guys need now is just wide receiver and offensive line, which I would agree. I think offensive line a little more, but you guys have a lot of picks. You have 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 4 fourth rounders,
Come on now, Bill be dicing them up.
4 6 rounders, and a 7th. You have 9 picks left. I think you could definitely do a lot right now. So you addressed the defensive side of the ball. You got your best corner. You got you got an edge, and you got a linebacker. Now go get help and protect Mac Jones, and go get another receiver later in the round. So, yeah, I like what as bad as it is, I do like what the New England Patriots have done. But let's get into these picks, Elvis. This is a gambling show. We could talk for hours. Let's start on the diamond. Got a lot of games on the slate. Couple double headers. We'll run through it. I only have a few plays myself, so whenever I get to your game, you just let me know what you got. But we will start in Detroit for the first game of a doubleheader. Baltimore Orioles on the road taking on the Detroit Tigers. Orioles minus 112 with Dean Kramer on the mound. Erod, Eduardo Rodriguez going for the Detroit Tigers minus 104. Short dogs at home. Over under is at 8. Any play for you in this one? None for me.
Still, give me the Orioles money line on the
Mhm.
road. I caught it at minus 113. I think this is the better club. It wouldn't shock me if they pull off a sweep today in Detroit, honestly. So you
Yeah.
got Rodriguez on the mound. I understand that boy was a great Red Sox a couple years ago, but he ain't it no more, Dill. And Baltimore, they surprisingly, they look to go 10 game above 500, Dill. I think they get it.
Yeah, no,
Baltimore
they're a
money
very
line.
good team this year, and it's exciting to see. I root for the Orioles sometimes. I got a little DMV in me. Let's go out to the nation's capital, Washington Nationals, hosting the Pittsburgh Pirates. Pittsburgh Pirates have the best record in the National League. Are we in the fucking Twilight Zone or something? Jesus Christ! But I love it. I think it's good. Andrew McCutchen. I said how big that he was going to be for the Pittsburgh Pirates coming back for them. But even with O'Neal Cruz, one of their young stars going down, they just rally around it and score runs and score runs. I love it. And I think they have a layup in a series. No disrespect to the Nationals, but they're not that good. So I'm going to take the Pittsburgh Pirates here. I got it at minus 135. It's up to minus 142 right now, but I can't back Patrick Corbin. He's a complete fade right now. So going to take the Pirates here on the money line. How about you?
Dale, no play for me here, but you know how I love my boy Rich Hill. He could throw that 68-mile-per-hour curveball on you and then throw that 78-mile-per-hour heater right past you. So, it might be a tough day for the bats in Washington, not for nothing. But I'll lean with Pittsburgh, Dale, but I'm not gonna take them officially.
All right. We'll go out to Minnesota. Twins hosting the Kansas City Royals. Twins, huge favorite, minus 230 on the money line, minus 1.5, minus 113. On the other end, plus 190 for the Royals, plus 1.5 is minus 106. Over under is at 8. Nothing for me. I mean, you just got to, if you're going to take anything, Twins run line, you got to continue to fade the Royals. They're awful on the road. Brad Keller, not a guy you really want to back. So, lean Twins run line, but nothing official. How about you?
Same deal. I'll lean with Twins. I'll lean the run line deal. Minus 230 on the money line is just too big. Run line to minus 113. I'll lean the run line.
All right. We'll go up to the 6th side. Blue Jays hosting the Seattle Mariners. Blue Jays minus 255 on the money line, minus 1.5, minus 132. On the other hand, Mariners plus 210, plus 1.5 is at plus 110. As much as I do like the Mariners, you cannot back Chris Flexen right now. He is atrocious. 0-4, over a 7 ERA. As bad as it is, I'm going to lean under 9. I think he's going to be able to limit the bats just a tad of the Blue Jays. Blue Jays are actually, with the amount of talent they have on the offensive side in their lineup, they're actually an under team this season. So Kevin Gausman, I think he's fantastic. I think he's going to limit the bats of the Mariners. So under 9 is going to be the play for me in this one. How about you?
No play for me here, dog. You gotta lean with Toronto at home in this situation, Dill. Let's just be honest. It's just a better team. Guzman on the mound. I lean the run line
Yeah.
with Toronto, but that's basically it, though.
Hopefully no blowout and we stay under the total. Let's go out to the Big Apple. New York Mets hosting the Atlanta Braves. Mets home puppies plus 140. Braves minus 166 on the other side. Over under is at 7.5. I really wish we got an 8.5. I would have taken the under. Mets dead under team. They can't hit the fucking barn backside of a barn right now. So Tyler McGill, he's had a good season so far, but Spencer Strider, I don't know. I just really like Spencer Strider right now. So lean under. I know it's at 7.5 right now. I just think the Mets, unless you want to focus in on the Mets team total under, I like that. But you got to lean with the Braves. They're a much better team right now. How about you?
Talk to them, Dill. Like you say that again one more time. Atlanta's just a much better team,
They
right?
are. They've lost 5 in a row. First time since Buck Showalter has come in. It's the only time the Mets have lost 5 in a row. So
Fireball fence.
they're just playing bad ball right now. So
Dill, I think
yeah.
I think y'all make it 6 in a row, Dill. I think Atlanta takes care of business on the road. Probably ends up sweeping y'all in the series, so it'll probably go up to 7, 8 in a row, Dill.
Wow. All right. You need to do that.
I'm
Jesus
sorry.
Christ. But all right, let's go out to Miami. Marlins hosting the Chicago Cubs. Another surprise team. I really like the Cubs. Marlins minus 130 at home, Cubs plus 110. They got a rookie going, making his debut. So that is why the Cubs are underdogs. Over under is at 9. I'm gonna go under 9 in this one here. Edward Cabrera is much better at home. Marlins don't have the biggest bats, and Cubs, they have a very good bullpen, but don't know really what I'm going to expect from the rookie. So under 9 at minus 120. How about you?
Dill, I ended up staying away from this matchup. Like you said, it's a rookie on the mound with Chicago, so you gotta lean the Marlins, especially first start on the road in Miami. I think it's gonna be a tough task. So I'm gonna lean with the Marlins in this situation.
All right, let's go out to Oakland. The Vegas Athletics hosting the Cincinnati Reds. Still playing in Oakland right now. Cincinnati Reds minus 156 on the road. Home puppies for the Athletics plus 132. Over under is at 7.5. I have no desire to touch this game. This game sucks. If you're watching the Reds and Athletics at 4 o'clock, you're a true degenerate. And I respect that.
No. If you attend the game and get those seats for like $8, shut out you. Cause I'll go to the Oakland game and pay like $80 to sit behind home plate.
Yeah, no play for me in this one. How about you?
I don't play though.
Yeah.
This is my only take. Somebody get some good seats at the Oakland game because there won't be any games left.
Exactly. Get them while they're hot. Let's go out to Fenway. Your Boston Red Sox hosting the Cleveland Guardians. Guardians are home underdogs, plus 110 on the road. Boston Red Sox minus 130 home favorites. Over under is at 9. You back in your Red Sox? Bello is bad though. E.
Still, I understand Bellows bad. I understand this, but we're a 500. We're like what I told you, dude. We're like the Atlanta Hawks of the MLB. We're just gonna be at 500. We're gonna go a game above, then go back to 500. Go a game under, and go back to 500. We're 13-14 though. We'll be 500 by the end of the night. Give me the Red Sox money line.
You gotta love it. No play for me. I can't back Bello. If anything, over. Zach Plesac's been bad as well.
Yeah,
So
I also lean the over. Anytime there's Red Sox at Fenway, lean the over total because we're gonna put up some runs. Our pitching will let up some runs, but we will put up some runs.
100%. Let's go out to H Town. Houston Astros hosting the Philadelphia Phillies. Astros minus 126 at home. Over under is at 7.5. If you want to back Philly, plus 108. Can't back Zach Wheeler in this spot. Christian Javier has been amazing at home, 2-0. I think it's a nice bounce back spot for them. They lost yesterday. That's why I even like them more today. Christian Javier, think he's going to be able to limit the bats of the Phillies. Give me the minus 126 with the Astros.
Still, no play for me here, though. But I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna lean with the home puppies, still. Think it's a little get back. Still got that sour taste in their mouth from last October. I'll lean the Philly in this situation plus 105. Though they started to turn it around. They're not as sluggish as they were the first 2 weeks of the season. So I'll lean with Philly. Though I think they'll be able to put up some runs on the board today.
All right. Second game of the doubleheader in Detroit. Tigers hosting the Orioles. Orioles minus 174 with G-Rod on the mound. Tigers are pitching Matt Boyd for the second game. Plus 146, another home dog for the Tigers. Over under is at 7.5. You playing this one again?
Nah, dude, I'm real confident in game one. Game two, you don't know what to expect. It might be a little tired. So if anything, I'll lean the under 8 though, because I expect them to, really play real ball at 12. And then the nightcap, probably a little tired legs though. So I'll lean the under 8. Don't expect too many runs to be scored tonight.
Yeah, that's a smart strategy doing that. Second game, another doubleheader for the Nationals and Pirates. This time, Vince Velasquez going for the Pirates. Chad Cool going for. Whenever I say that, I picture Stewie. Cool Whip. Remember that
Cool.
that
Cool.
episode? Yeah. So, Chad Cool going for the Nationals. Plus 126 home puppies for the Nationals. Minus 148 for the Pirates. I think it's going to be a sweep. Give me the Pirates here. Vince Velasquez on the mound. I think Chad Cool might get destroyed. So I'm going to take the minus 148. Maybe put him in a parlay. Pirates. Get a little plus money action. But what do you got?
I don't even know if you could do that.
I'm going to see right now.
I'll lean the Pirates as well. Though it's shocked that we over here picking the Pirates left and right. So it's funny, but hey, it's working.
Bro,
So,
they're 17-8. They're the best team in the National League, record-wise.
18-8. Put some respect on it.
They're better than the Dodgers. Like that.
Dodgers are done. Padres, best team in Cali.
Thank you. Speaking of the Padres, let's go out to Mexico City. Mexico showdown between the San Diego Padres and the San Francisco Giants. Padres are technically the home team. They are minus 184, plus 154 for the San Francisco Giants. Over under is the highest baseball number total to date in baseball history, 15.5. I think on principle, I know it's because of the altitude and balls flying out of there, but I think on principle, you just got to take the under 15.5, right?
Still, on principle, I think you got to take the under 15.5 still, but a little chalky though. I wanted to pick a winner in this situation. Give me the Padres on the money line. I know it's rich. I understand that. I apologize, people, but I want to give something out for this game because I will be watching it. I think San Diego, in that altitude, though, they could hit some bombs. You got Soto, you got Maddie, you got Xander. I think they'd be able to hit a ball probably 500 feet today. It wouldn't shock me.
Yeah, no.
So I expect San Diego to hit a few home runs today, not just one, a couple, especially from the names I just mentioned, Dill. So I just think the San Diego's bats will just put up a little more runs than San Francisco.
All right. Yeah, it should be fun. I'm definitely going to take a peep at that. That game is at 6:00. So around
when the
time,
over-under's at 15.5, dude, I think you got to tune in.
you got to tune in. It's the first matchup in a while I've seen in Mexico City. So it should be fun. Let's go out to Texas, another state kind of close to Mexico. Rangers hosting the New York Yankees. Rangers minus 148 at home, plus 126 for the Yankees. Over under is at 8.5. Don't shoot in the messenger, but I'm going to take the Yankees here, plus 126. Johnny Brito, he might not be the best, but I can't back Nathan Eovaldi at this number. Minus one. I don't think maybe against the Athletic or the Reds, he should be a minus 148 favorite, but against the Yankees lineup, I'm sorry.
Still,
I'll take the plus 126.
let's just be real. Let's just be honest right now. The Rangers are a little better than the New York Yankees.
They are, but Nathan Eovaldi isn't.
First of all, though, that's what Red Sox great. So you better put some respect on Nathan Eovaldi. He's great. He's good. He's good. Dill, this Rangers team is just a pesky team, Dill. And the Yankees, they don't do well against pesky teams. They do well against teams that's just gonna fall over. But those are the Yankees. This ain't the same Texas Rangers. This is about my man Texas Rangers, like my man Washington is coaching them. So to be honest, I'm not gonna lay in on the money line at minus 160, Dill. But I'm gonna lean with the Rangers, Dill. I think they take care of business at home against the Yankees, Dill. This Yankees team, they're just not it. They're just not it, Dill. Rangers are better.
Yeah, they are. They're playing better baseball, especially at home. Records are kind of the same. Joey's mentioning he likes the over in this matchup. I don't know. The Yankees are a very dead under team. They're 9-17 towards the under on the season. They have a top 5 bullpen, 3-6 in their last 10. Rangers, they're the opposite. They're an over team because they have a top 5 offense. That's my issue. You know, if Johnny Brito has a good game and Nathan Eovaldi doesn't blow up, I think it could be an under game. But if both pitchers are letting up runs back and forth, I could definitely see it going over. The total is at, what is it, 8.5. They're playing in a dome. Yesterday they played, it was 5-2. I don't know. I kind of like the under just because the Yankees are the most profitable team towards the under this season. So that's kind of my thought on the total. So gonna back the Yankees here at the dog. We spend enough time talking about the Yankees. Let's go to Chicago, South Side. Chicago White Sox hosting the Tampa Bay Rays. Rays -130 favorite on the road, +110 for the White Sox. Over under is at 9. How do you like this one, E?
Give me Tampa Bay Rays on the money line, -135, Dill. Oh, right now it's -130, so the line just went down
Yep.
just a little bit. The money's going in on Lance Lynn, the legend. So
He's a fade.
I know, Dill, but 8 years ago you wasn't saying that.
8 years ago is crazy. 8
Oh,
years ago, got it.
crazy.
Yo. I'm
Oh, man.
moving on. You just said some crazy shit. Milwaukee Brewers hosting the Los Angeles Angels. Brewers -144 at home. Angels +122 on the road. Over under is at 8. I'm going to take the short price here with the Brew Crew at home. Corbin Burns is much better than Reed Demers. Angels, they're just a disappointing team. Every year we try to make a case for them because they have the 2 best players in Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani, but they just don't have the other pieces. They don't have pitching. Their bullpen is in the bottom half of the league. I just can't trust him. And against Corbin Burns, I think on the road, I think Angels are going to struggle. So -144 is a very short price for Corbin Burns. Give me the Brew Crew here at home. How about you?
Yeah, I'll lean them as well. You know, the Angels, Angels are what the Angels are. You know, they got the talent. They don't have the pitching deal. So I do expect Milwaukee to take care of business at home. Shout out my boy Joey in the chat. Out of respect to him, I'm not gonna say Brew Crew on the show. I'm not.
I was just saying that when you were talking, I was like, they're probably gonna fuck me and they're gonna lose this game. But yeah, they're gonna be the death of us back in the Brewers. They're a good team, but anytime we back them publicly, they lose.
Yeah,
I just don't understand it. So gonna go out to Colorado Rockies. They will host the Arizona Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks short favorite on the road, -118, +100 even money for the Rockies. Over under is at 12.5. Noah Davis, he's off to a pretty good start for the Rockies, which is why I think we see them as a short dog. But Arizona's just a much better team. They're actually a top 10 hitting team this year. So like them, their bullpen worries me a little bit, but they hit righties really well. They beat the Rockies last night 9-1. They're the much better team. They should win. I know we like to back Colorado at home, but I just think this is a bad spot for them. So give me the Diamondbacks -118. How about you?
dude, I'm gonna lean with the Diamondbacks on the road. Though I just feel like Colorado, they suck. Usually we end up leaning with Colorado, especially at home. But still, it's just been disappointing. At least last season, they were at least profitable at home. This season, I don't know what's going on. Hopefully, they could change it up. You know, when the weather warms up just a little bit, because it's still pretty cold in Colorado late in April. So I'm gonna lean with the Diamondbacks. Still, I just think they the better team.
Yeah. Joe, I know that it's a dangerous pick. I've realized that with the Brewers. They're on my short end of my do not bet list. So if they fuck this one up, they might be on it. But last game on the slate, the Dodgers hosting the St. Louis Cardinals. Dodgers -152 at home with Kershaw on the mound. Jordan Montgomery going for the Cardinals +128. Over under is at 8. How do you play in this one? I got no play here.
Still, if this, I gotta stop doing this. But if this was 2 years ago, I will put a lot of money on the Dodgers run line. You got Kershaw on the mound at home against the Cardinals. But do I trust the Dodgers enough in this situation to lay the run line at home? Till the fact that it's at plus 140. Till we couldn't get a minus 120 on the run line 2 years ago of the same Dodgers team. You remember that? When they were minus 180 on the run line, minus 220 on the
That's
run
when they were
line.
so good.
Still, I want to take the Dodgers on the run line so bad. You know what? I'm doing it. Give me the Dodgers on the run line, plus 140, Dill. I think they finally get it together, have a whole complete game. Kershaw 7 innings strong. The bats put up about 7 or 8. I think they win the game 8-4, Dill.
Joey's asking a question in the chat. How about Kershaw strikeouts? It's sitting at 6.5 right now.
Cardinals aren't over, Dill. He's due for an outing. You know, he's 4-1 on the season. He has the capabilities to do it. It wouldn't shock me if he gives you about 7 strong, 8 Ks. It wouldn't shock me.
Cardinals, they don't really strike out a lot. They're 11th in the league in total strikeouts, which is pretty good. That means they don't really strike out a lot. He's in his 5 starts. He's only hit this. He's gone over this number twice. He's had 9 Ks in those 2 outings. But against Arizona, he had 4. San Francisco, he had 4. His last start against Chicago, he had 6. So right at the number.
We might have to smash the under, though. It's been a while. But he's due. He's due.
He is due. In both starts at home this season, he had 9 strikeouts, Arizona and at the Mets. So it's at minus 115. Maybe you lean a little over. Maybe you get a little strikeouts for Kershaw. But that's how I kind of would play this game as well. Before we get to the NBA playoffs, let me tell you guys about a presented sponsor today. We are brought to you by Viva Tequila Seltzer, the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. It's no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and 4.5 ABV, Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebrations, as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We flavor our tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks with just a kick, just like how we like our lives. Whether it's Huckleberry playing a round of golf with the boys or an elderberry watching NBA playoffs, it doesn't matter. Our flavors pair perfectly with that Artisanal Blanco tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink. Our belief here at the Dream Wager and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. All right, Elvis, let's get on over to the hardwood. We got, like I said, we got 1 game today, 2 games on Sunday. Let's start with the first game, game 1 in the Western Conference. Semifinals, not conference. Semifinals. You got the Denver Nuggets at home hosting the Phoenix Suns. Nuggets laying 3 at home. I see 3.5s out there, so shop around. Over under is at 226.5. If you want to take the Nuggets on the money line, minus 158, minus 155. So shop around plus 132 for the Phoenix Suns. Elvis, how you playing this one?
Yeah, I took the Denver Nuggets on the money line at minus 140. I ended up catching it there. I just feel like Denver will take care of business game 1 at home. We saw the Suns lose game 1 at home against the Clippers. I think the Denver Nuggets are so much better than the Clippers, especially without Paul George in the lineup. So, and another thing, Dill, I think I'm gonna lean Devin Booker under 30.5 total in this game, Dill. I think Bruce Brown could cause some havoc to him. I think he's gonna be a little, I want to say frustrated with him, but it will get a little. It'll take a quarter to adjust because Bruce Brown is an elite defender, and I think he could cause some havoc on him, especially on the defensive side. Devin Booker's been averaging damn near 37 points a game, especially in that first round, Dill. So Denver got to slow him down. Kevin Durant's gonna be Kevin Durant. I just don't think you can't let Devin Booker exceed Kevin Durant in points. If Kevin Durant gives you 30 points, by all means, you can't let both of them give you 30 points each. And I think that's the difference. So give me Denver game 1. I also give Denver a shot in the series. I understand Suns got all that firepower deal. I just feel like it starts by slowing down Booker and then controlling Kevin Durant. Because Kevin Durant's going to get his. It's just, will Devin Booker give you 30, 35, 40 points? If he averages 30-plus points again in this series, the Suns will march to the Western Conference Finals.
My question is, remember last year they got swept or they lost to the Suns? My one concern backing them, Yeah, Joey's in the chat saying Suns sweep right now because they do have issues with the Suns, and now they have Kevin Durant on their side. I do think the Suns are live, but for game one, I'll lay it with the Nuggets. I also like the over as well. And I got two player props for you. I'm going to go. You talked about Devin Booker. Devin Booker over 5.5 assists. He's hit this in 3 of the 5 playoff games. 2 of the 3 games against the Nuggets, he's hit this prop in the regular season as well. He's averaging 6.5 assists in the playoffs. So I think he's going to set up, and I like that angle as well, going under his points and just kind of fading him. And I like him dishing the ball a little more. So I'm going to go over 5.5 assists for Devin Booker. And on the other side, Joker, a lot of people are calling him frauds in the playoffs and him not being the MVP that he is, in my opinion. So I'm going to go over 12.5 boards for the Joker. He's hit this in both games versus the Suns, grabbing 18 and 15 boards in the regular season. But in the playoffs, he's only averaging 12.4 boards. So right around the number. Suns 11th in the league in rebounds allowed. I just think he has another monster game. He gets up for the Suns. So I'm going to go over 12.5 boards for the Joker. You like those props or no?
I like it because Joker's always you really know you can pencil him for a double. He might even scratch the surface for a triple double deal. It's just it's a chance to give you a 2020 game deal. We already know what the Joker is capable of doing. Back to back MVP. I like those plays. I definitely like the over prop as well.
Yeah. So I don't know if we see a sweep, Joe, but should be definitely a
No
very
sweep there, Joe.
Let's go out to Sunday. We got 2 games. We'll start with the best one. 1:00 in the Mecca. The New York Knicks will be hosting the Miami Heat. The Knicks laying 4 at home. Over under is at 207. Elvis, I think it's only right that I start this one. Give me the Knicks. Lay the points with the Heat. We're just a better team. Offensively, we're better. Maybe not defensively. Well, defensively, we held the Cavs under 100 points in every game. So defensively, we're really good right now. I like Jalen Brunson over 23 points. I think him and Jimmy Butler are going to go after it. They're going to be the 2 best players on the court. He's been balling. And I just think the Knicks, I almost said they almost have the best coaching too. I like Eric Spoelstra. I've come around on him. He's a great coach. I just think the Knicks have the momentum. They're playing better basketball right now. And if they could just limit, because I know Jimmy's going to get his, if they could just limit him a little bit, I think the Knicks sneak out a victory here in game 1. And they're forcing a lot of turnovers, which is why Cleveland, they didn't really get off to a good start in any of their losses. We forced turnovers with that aggressive defense. I'm going to lay with the Knickerbockers. Give me the Knicks -4. And Jalen Brunson over 23 points.
Dill, this is my official play for this game. I do like your Knicks. Jimmy Butler worries me a little bit. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
Because if Jimmy Butler gives you 40-plus points, they're winning this game. Let's just be real. So that's the major X factor. I'll lean his over prop over 30.5 as well. But my official play, and this is who I think is going to be the X factor of this series, though. If he shows up and gives you around 20 points a game, Miami will move on. I don't expect him to. Give me Bam under 17.5 points still. Wow. I think the lights might be too bright for him in New York. I do expect him to turn it up back in Miami, but in game 1 at the Garden, I think he's going to be a little too overwhelmed, though. Bam Adebayo, he's great. He's good, but he's not a superstar. He's not like that. So I think the lights will be a little too bright. I think Mitchell Robinson will bully him on the boards. And I think he's just going to have an off game, though. Give me Bam under 17.5 points.
There was a stat of Bam and his under points. I think he's hit the under points in like every – oh, yeah, here it is. Oh, no, it was Mobley. But Bam actually hasn't had the best of a postseason so far. So I do like the under. I think the Mitchell Robinson will cause problems for him. Jimmy Butler just can't get 40, 45 points because if he does, we will lose that game. Let's go to the second game on Sunday. Game 7 in Sacramento. Like the beam. I love that. I love that. I'm so mad. I just found out about that. They should have been presenting it or sponsoring it way before during the earlier in the season. But Warriors, 1-point favorite on the road, -112 on the money line. Over under is at 229.5. Do the Warriors get it done?
Still, I think they lost the series last night.
It was embarrassing last night.
Still, the Golden State Warriors lost the series last night at home. They're blown out by 19. Let's just call this 20 piece. To lose by 20 on your home court, now you got to go on the road, knowing you're the worst road team in the playoffs remaining. I think it's concerning, though. I think the Warriors go into the game 7 with some doubt. You know, I understand they already won one game in Sacramento, still, but to win 2, that's a tough task. De'Aaron Fox looking like himself again. Did look way better in Game 6 than he did in Game 5. Kingham Murray, the rookie, he's been playing lights out. Sabonis in foul trouble last night, gets taken out the game. And then the backups come in and do a great job.
That was the issue for me. The backups cannot do that against the Warriors.
Yeah. They just got outplayed. Jordan Poole give you, 6, 8 points. Jordan Poole, if he's going to give you under 10 points a game, the Warriors have no shot. Have absolutely no shot, Dill. So my play in this one will be, give me the Kings money line at plus 100, Dill. Another play for me. I cashed on it yesterday. I like it once again. Give me Andrew Wiggins over 5.5 rebounds. It's a little rich at -132, but you can shop around, get it around -115, 120 by all means. I think he ended up the game with 7 or 8 last night. I think he goes around 7 or 8 once again. And then give me Kingham Murray over 12.5 points, Still, this man just been finding his stroke ever since Game 3. Games 1 and 2, he wasn't there. He was just a little over his head. The rookie finally got his feet, got his legs under him, Dill, and he got that rhythm. He got that confidence, and he's gonna let it fly, Dill. He's gonna hit 3-4 threes. He's gonna get some paint points. Give me Kingham Murray over 12.5 points as well.
Yeah, you mentioned the rebounds. He did go over it. He had 7 last night against the Kings. He's averaging 5.7. I love Andrew Wiggins as well. Sacramento, the defense, they don't really play. They did play defense last night, but then I was thinking of a word, but I couldn't get it. But throughout the season, they haven't played defense. They're ninth in rebounds allowed. Defensive rebounds, they're 10th allowed. So I do like the rebound prop for Andrew Wiggins. I actually cashed on Andrew Wiggins' point prop. Sitting around 18, it's gotten higher. In the playoffs, he's only gotten over this 3 out of 6 times, so about 50%. And you said Keegan Murray is sitting at 12%. He's only had 2 games in the playoffs, Elvis, where he's gotten over this number. He had that huge game where he dropped 23. Yesterday, he had 15. But other than that, 3, 3, 6, and 10.
I notice it was game is going up. 3, 3, 6, 10, 23.
Yeah.
15.
I don't know. He's only averaging he's averaging 9 points in the series.
Still, the first 2 games he wasn't feeling it, though. He was a rookie. The start, the lights were too bright. Now he's settled in. He's going to give you about 16, 17 points.
Steph Curry's points prop is very interesting. 32.5. He's gone under this in 5 out of 6 games in the playoffs. He's only gone over this one time where he dropped 36.
And still, if you look back, I don't know the numbers off the top of my head, but Steph Curry Game 7 stats, not
crazy.
Well. Not well.
Oh, that's surprising. That makes me want to go under too.
Mm-hmm.
It is at -115 if you want to lean. So, slight lean to Steph Curry under 32.5 points. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I trust Elvis. Game 7s are bad, but I got to lean with the Warriors here. After they maybe first quarter, I'll take them. The way they got embarrassed at home with the bench, with the Kings bench outscoring them, Jordan Poole cannot have that bad of a game again. I think they come out with intensity. They set the tone. They've already shown that they could win on the road. Give me the Warriors first quarter -2. I think they come out and they set the tone. So I'm going to take the Warriors. I don't know about the full game, but I'm going to lean the Warriors here first quarter. Other than that, let's go on over to the ice, Elvis. The NHL playoffs are buzzing right now. Dallas Stars, they won the series last night 4-2 against the Minnesota Wild. Vegas Golden Knights, they took care of business against the Jets 4-1. Carolina Hurricane took care of the Islanders. They're fucking trash, the Islanders. 4-2, Carolina Hurricane. Boston Bruins, the best team. They're in a fucking dogfight. Game 7 against the Florida Panthers. Florida won last night to force Game 7 back in Boston. Toronto, they play tonight against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Toronto leads the series 3-2. Another one seed defending champs, Colorado Avalanche. They're in a fucking dogfight going to Game 7 against the Seattle Kraken. Love to see it. Second year for the Seattle Kraken. And then our New Jersey Devils, baby. All the hype against the Rangers. They were talking Stanley Cup Finals after going up 2-0. Once we made the goalie change, putting in Schmidt. It's my boy, rookie. Bro, Lindy Ruff, that's what they needed to do. They needed to move the goalie, and that's what helped. We've have all the momentum, and we're dogs on the road. Give me the New Jersey Devils plus 106. Alternate line -1.5. We're fucking taking it done in Garden, and we're gonna celebrate at the Mecca. We're going out clubbing. And we're going to play the Carolina Hurricane in the next round. And I was hoping the Islanders would upset them so we could take out both New York teams. How generous would that be? Take out both New York teams. We can't play with our food tonight. On a serious note, we need to end it tonight. We can't go back to Game 7 with them having momentum. Give me the New Jersey Devils on the money line plus 106. You got to play on the ice for us.
No, Dill, but I got to lean with the New Jersey Devils to take care of business on the road. Like you said, plus 106. I think we take care of business, Dill. We lost the first 2. We're going to win 4 straight, clean up business. Carolina, you better be ready.
Joe got the numbers for us in the chat. Love it. Game 7, Steph averages 28.3 points, 7.3 assists, and 6 boards.
That's pretty great.
I was just going to say that's fucking great.
But that ain't good enough. In a Game 7, though, you got to be about 35 points a game.
Wow. And it's under his point prop. So give me the under 32.5.
Yeah, I'm telling you. He's gonna shoot 2 from 9 from 3. He'll give you about 28, 27 points. There's no doubt about that. Steph Curry, he better give you that. But 32.5?
Nah, it's a little high. A little high for Game 7, Steph. I like the stats. Thanks, Joe. So, yeah, we're gonna fade it still. Let's go Devils on the ice. There are 2 other games. Don't really have strong plays. I kind of just want to fade the Toronto Maple Leafs because I love seeing them not get out of the first round. So Tampa Bay at home -110. I kind of like on the money line as well. They're much more physical team, than the Toronto Maple Leafs. So lean Lightning here. And then the last game of tonight, you have Edmonton as big road favorites, -164 against the Kings. I think they take it out. They take away the Kings. On the road, you have Connor McDavid, the best player in the world, and you have Draisaitl as well. I think they win. Plus 138 on the puck line as well. That's a little tasty for me. So I kind of like that as well. So those are going to be our plays on the ice. Before we get to the gridiron, got some XFL plays. Let me guys tell you about another sponsor we have today. It is Prize Picks Daily Fantasy. All first-time users that deposit and use promo code DREAMWAGER will receive 100% instant deposit up to $100. If you deposit 100, Prize Picks will give you 100. If you deposit 50, Prize Picks will give you 50. It's easy. You pick 2 to 6 players, and if they score more or less than their Prize Picks projection, you can win up to 25 times your money on any entry. Prize Picks entries can be made within 60 seconds or less. It's literally that easy. Tons to choose from. NBA playoffs are going on. NHL playoffs are going on. You got MLB. You got MMA going on as well. Soccer. So loads to choose from. Prize Picks is safe. Offers fast withdrawals as well. So get in on the action. Not now, but right now. Download Prize Picks today. Pay daily fantasy sports with us. Make sure you use promo code DREAMWAGER when you sign up. All right, let's get into the gridiron XFL playoffs. We got 2 games on the slate. We got I think it's the Atlantic and the North or some shit like that. But we got Arlington Renegades at your Houston Roughnecks. Houston laying 6.5 on the at home. Over under is at 41.5. You back in your Roughnecks here?
So I do expect the Roughnecks to take care of business and win this game at home, though. But we saw how they ended the season. Did they end the season 1-4? Dale, give me Arlington plus 6.5 on the road, Dale. And it doesn't pay me to say this, but it kind of sucks because we saw, the Houston Roughnecks start the season off so well, then they ended the season so badly, Dale. So I just have a feeling they just gonna keep on that pace, Dale. Arlington, they're not as good. They're not really that good either, but I think they've just been playing a little better the past month than the Houston Roughnecks, Dale. So give me the Arlington plus 6.5 in the Battle of Texas.
You're 100% right. I have 2 plays here. I took the 6.5 in my pocket, and I like the under better, 41.5. It's a revenge spot here in the playoffs. Arlington, they got hosed about 2 weeks ago by Houston, 25-9. They also met back in week 1 where Houston won 25-14. Both of these teams, 2 defensive-minded coaches they have. The one concern I have backing Arlington is they give up the most sacks in the XFL. They can't really protect their quarterback. Houston, they have a very good pass rush. Arlington ranks dead last in scoring at 146 points scored this season. Houston, they haven't played the best football toward the end of the season, losing 3 of the last 5 games, which is why I do like the points in my pocket. But under 41.5 is much better. Both times these 2 teams played went under this number. Houston has a great defense against Arlington with a weak offense. Sets up beautiful for the under. So under 41.5, I like better, but plus 6.5, I do think Arlington can keep it within a touchdown. And then I think the much better game, Sunday, you have the DC Defenders taking on my Seattle Sea Dragons. Defenders -3 at home. Over under is at 48.5. How do you like this one, E?
Don't
do it.
Give me DC plus 100
no.
at home. Dill, the Sea Dragons been playing great. The Sea Dragons are good. I just feel like DC would take care of business at home. It wouldn't shock me one bit if Sea Dragons are able to pull it off, Dill, on the road. But DC, they've been the best team in the XFL all season long. You told me they're the best team.
They are.
Give me the best team. Give me the plus money at home.
Wow.
Go DC.
Yeah, I got 2 plays in this one as well. I got it too. They're my team. I got to take the 3. I actually got 3.5 earlier in the week. I still like the 3 in my pocket. I like the over as well, 48.5. Both really good offenses in this game. And even though the Sea Dragons, they snuck into the playoffs off a tiebreaker of some sort, the ESPN anchors couldn't even really dictate or tell us why they got into the playoffs. But it doesn't matter. We're here. And I think they're live, to be honest. These 2 teams played twice where DC won both meetings. Surprisingly enough, DC's one loss was to the worst team, the Orlando Guardians. So the first one, DC came back. They won 22-18. Then the second game, DC won by a point where they stopped a 2-point conversion, won 34-33. So 2 very close games within one score. From a record standpoint, you're right. DC has been the best team all year. But from a numbers point of view, Seattle rates out higher than any other team, according to PFF. Seattle ranks in the top 4 on both sides of the ball. And the one area that concerns me with backing DC is their defense. They rank 6th in the league in defense. They give up a lot of points, especially their secondary. The first 2 meetings, like I said, came down to the final play, which shows me the Sea Dragons can compete with these guys and they could stay there. So I'd rather have the points in my pocket. I'm going to take the 3.5, whatever you could get. Give me the Sea Dragons plus 3.5. And I think we see another shootout at 48.5. So that's how I do it. I got in my final for next week and to win it all, Seattle. And I think Arlington. Upsets Houston. We got Arlington versus Seattle. Seattle takes it all. The Sea Dragons, baby. If they win, I'll buy a jersey. I'll buy a jersey. I'll hang it up right here in the studio. I'm a Sea Dragon fan for life. I should be a DC fan since we're right here in the Northeast. I can't do it. I can't do it. Give me the Seattle Sea Dragons. Let's stay on the gridiron. The USFL. I went 2-2 again last week. How did you do?
I went 1-1. I ended up taking New Orleans last week, and then I took the Panthers and Star games over. I think they ended up at 36. So went under there. Took New Orleans. They took care of business last week. So
yeah, it was a very interesting week for the USFL. Our Jersey Generals, they got the much needed win. Memphis, I'll never back Memphis again. They lost fucking 42-2. They got a safety. That was literally the only thing they were able to get. So 2 games today, 2 games on Sunday. We'll start with the first game in Birmingham, Alabama, where the Stallions are hosting the New Orleans Breakers. 2 good teams, both 2-0. Right now, the Stallions are -6.5 at home. Over under is at 48.5. How you playing this one?
Still, I ended up taking no game in this one, though. Stayed away from it. I do expect it to be a good matchup, but like you said, I just ended up fading this game. I'm not touching it.
All right. Yeah, I got to play here. Should be a good game, but I'll lay the 6 or anything under a touchdown with Birmingham. The Stallions, they killed Memphis last week, 42-2. And this defense has not allowed more than 10 points through 2 weeks. So I got to keep riding with them until they show me some regression. So give me Birmingham Stallions -6. I got -6, but 6.5 I like. If it goes to 7 or 7.5, that's kind of where I would draw the line and maybe stay away from the game. So short one there, but I do like the Stallions to take care of business. Let's go out to Houston. The Gamblers of Houston are taking on the Memphis Showboats. Houston -4.5 at home. Over under is at 42.5. How do you like this one, E?
Still, we saw Memphis just score up 2 points last week. I gotta lean with the Houston -4.5 on the home at home. Still in this situation, it's what makes sense. I expect Memphis to be better this week, but let's just be real. I honestly think they're gonna possibly put up less than 10 points again.
Love the old stats Joey's given us. Game 7s for LeBron, 34, about 35 points, 10 assists, 5.6 assists. MJ, on the other hand, about 34, 7 and 7. So yeah, you need to step it up. If the 2 GOATs are doing that, Steph, you need to step it up. For me in this game, what game? Oh, Memphis Houston. I'll lay the 4.5 with Houston. I can't, like I said, I can't back Memphis after last week's performance. They only had 183 total yards in the game, 2 turnovers, and they allowed 42 points. I just can't back a team like that. Houston, they have the better offense. They have the better defense. They do need to limit the turnovers. They have 5 turnovers in 2 games, but if they can control the ball, limit the turnovers, I think they should cover this number. Again, if it goes to 5, 5.5, still like it. Anything under a touchdown, give me Houston -4.5. And the 2 games on Sunday, we'll start with the 12 o'clock game. Philadelphia Stars taking on the Pittsburgh Muellers. Philadelphia Stars -6.5 at home. Over under is at 42.5. How do you like this one, E?
No official play deal, but you gotta lean with Philadelphia in this situation. Pittsburgh, I'm gonna lean with the Stars -6.5 at home.
All right. For me, I'm going to under. I'm going to ride the total, go under 42.5. Pittsburgh, they just lost to Jersey last week, 20-3. Pittsburgh, they're struggling on offense. They've scored 6 points in 2 games, 3-3. So defensively, they're not bad. They've only given up 20 points last week to Jersey. And then in week 1, they only gave up 22 points. So it's the Battle of Pennsylvania. Should be an ugly one, but based on how these 2 teams have performed this far, I just don't think we're going to see much offense from either side. So unless the defense are putting up points, I think the under cash is easy. So under 42 is going to be the play for me. I do lean Philly as well on the side. And then last game, our Jersey Generals are on the road taking on the Michigan Panthers. Michigan laying 4.5 at home. Over under is at 43.5. You back in our Jersey Generals?
Still, Jersey Generals coming off the first win last week. I think we're going to keep the ball rolling, Give me the +4.5 on the road. I think we make it a close one. If not, we sneak out a victory here, though.
I hate to do it, but I gotta fade our boys from Jersey in this spot.
Shame.
They had a nice win. I do
Shame.
agree. They had a nice win, but it's just taking a while for their offense to get going. They waited till the late third quarter, early fourth quarter to start scoring. I think the main problem with Jersey and me backing them is that they continue to play two quarterback system. I think they should just stick with one quarterback and maybe they'll be more consistent on offense. They keep changing the quarterback, and I get what they're trying to do, but they're trying to be too smart, and I don't really like it. So I think they're coming out of the gate with mud in their shoes. They're kind of like moving along real slow. So Michigan, they have the league's leading rusher in Reggie Corbin. The guy's a fucking tank. He ran for 131 yards and 2 tutties on 11 carries last week. So this is Michigan's first game at home. So I expect a large crowd to get behind the boys. They're just a more consistent team. I have to back them. So laying 4.5, anything under a touchdown, I think they beat our boys from Jersey. So should be a good game. Elvis, that's going to do it. We gave out a ton of picks. It was a great episode. Any last words before we get up out of here, kid?
Hopefully we draft a stud in the 5th, 6th, or 7th round, Dill. That's what your boy wants, a stud. Even in the 4th, Dill. Like we said, we got 9 picks remaining. Bill Belichick hit a home run. Let's draft a Hall of Famer.
Let's go. Good luck on everyone's team. Everyone, shout out to you in the chat watching. I appreciate that. That's going to do it for this Saturday edition of the Dream Wager. On behalf of our sponsors, Viva Tequila, Prize Picks, Elvis, myself, we'll see you guys on Monday. Follow along our social media if you could, Twitter and Instagram at The Dream Wager. You can find all of our episodes if you missed one, wherever you get your podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, Stitcher. If you haven't already, please subscribe, rate, give us a review. Really, that really helps the show grow tremendously. So be a friend, tell a friend. Everyone have a great weekend. Good luck on your wagers. Be safe, be well, and we'll see you guys down the road. Peace.